everybody. This is Brother Ron Heard, also known as R2C2H2 Artist. You are watching We All Be TV, News Free Dixie for the 21st century. Can you dig it?
We've got stuff like, have you seen this garbage P-Valley?
Oh my God. Let me tell you, Judge, before you get started, the lead Mercedes, that's my high school and junior high classmate. And I got my opinions about all that stuff, but I know her, I had a crush on her since I was a kid. And just to see everything now in the world to see. But go ahead, give your critique of people.
Yeah, well, I mean, you talking about the high bright one?
Not the high bright, but the one that was dancing for the sports coach.
Oh, yeah.
Doing the
yeah. Okay, well, she ain't bad.
But she look good for age, right? She look good. She aged well.
35 years ago, I was on retainer to several strip clubs, and during the 80s, I had a whole lot of hoes and pimps and simps and dancers that were my clients. They kept the rent paid, and I was on retainer to some clubs, but that's a lot more glamorous on what they present than the reality. Not that the babes didn't make money, but I mean, they weren't throwing bills up on the dance floor like they do. That's Hollywood stuff. And that they're glamorizing that garbage for the consumption of youth, and the young girls are looking at it and making it a hit show, and they're trying to get into it. The other thing is too, they got that flamer that owns the club and is the manager. And he's always giving up head to the customers. And then they have this other thing that gets me about the realities. Here's something that most people don't know. The guys go in there hoping they can get laid. Now, there are some dancers who will lay some of the customers without charging them just because they got horny sitting up dancing up in there for several hours naked. But the truth of the matter is on average, out of every 100 dancers or strippers you have, 95 of them are lesbians. You got 2 or 3 of them that are bi, and 2 straight ones out of the 100. Most of the lesbians are not losing their money to some pimp or simp, but they're giving it up to their friend girls, buying drugs for them, drugs for themselves, and generally giving their money away. I used to have, even 35 years ago, I had clients that, attractive ones, they dance, and when Millington got paid, the sailors and Marines and the other folk on the 1st and the 15th, they could make $4,000 or $5,000 a night on Friday, Saturday, or whenever the 15th hit or the 1st hit, if it wasn't the weekend. So they'd give it away. I got some of them angry at me when I worked up a deal with them. I didn't understand why at first, except they thought I was trying to run a game on them. Not because I was holding their money up, but I was having them have a percentage of what they were getting paid given to me, and I put it in an escrow account. So I gave this one woman, she said, "You lying?" And I said, "What the hell is wrong?" And then what it was she didn't realize she brought in all that money. She was paying $39, $49, $95 a night at Motel 6 times 30, and giving away a lot of the money to her girlfriend or friends. And I wound up giving her, the account that she had like $11,000 one month. So she thought I was padding this and trying to put her in a stable. I said, "No, this is what you make." I didn't make that much money. I said, "Yes, you did." And she wasn't all that heavy. She hadn't been paying attention in school. So when I laid it out for her, I had to go over it 8 or 9 times. I said, "You actually made that much money."
I bet she wanted to marry you, Judge, or be
she
your
thought
bottom.
I was trying to. Well, she was a lesbian, so I mean,
Was she attractive though? Was she attractive?
See, what I found the attitude was, look, I don't give a damn about this. Some fool wants to pay me money to look at it or rub all over it. You know, I don't give a damn. I take his money and let him rub and look all he wants. So, well, you know, that rubbing gets you in trouble. Vice be up in there and jack you up.
Right.
You know, so I mean, it was a thing. But that P-Valley, Pussy Valley thing, that is a disgusting thing to be presented. And I'll tell you something else, too.
Yes, sir.
If you had a movie poster at a movie now advertising an upcoming or now playing, and there was a guy standing there grabbing a handful of a gal's ass, there would be all kinds of screeches. But right now, you go to a movie theater and they have these Walt Disney posters up or whatever it is for these animations for children. And I saw 1, 2, and in the middle, there was one where one guy got a handful of another guy's ass, and that guy's got a handful of his ass. And it's an all gay thing. And I'm looking at this. I said, these young boys would catch hell if they grabbed the girl's ass. If they put up a movie where the guy's grabbing a gal's ass, getting a good handful. But look at this. What the hell is going on with this? And then why do they have the lead character in that P-Valley thing giving head to all of those male customers?
But she became the pimp at the end. She's a pimp now. She was pimping them girls.
No, I'm talking about the dude.
Oh, Uncle Clifford. But you know what? It's weird. In that whole show, there's no strong black hetero male.
Oh no, they got all
none
these
at all.
dudes, like dude with all the gold teeth was trying to come in there and play gangster.
The Little Murder, you know when the Little Murder got a rapper?
Little Murder, and he wanted to suck the dude's dick. Sucked it.
You know what? You know the Duval, the comedian, he said y'all should have a disclaimer before because people want to see strippers, and we ain't expecting all this extra stuff. Because this last season, it was a lot of that going on. It was like that agenda, that Skittles agenda was riding hard, wet and dry. I mean, but that's not the only show. There's no positive black hetero male figure in any of these so-called black shows now.
They don't have them, and they don't want them.
But
see, that disturbs the narrative. I found that out when I was out in Hollywood in 15 years. At the very bottom of this totem pole, they had straight male blacks, straight black men. And very few of the black actors you see are straight black men. The ones that are tend to stay the hell away from Hollywood, and they don't hang around with Hollywood. The only thing they go to is the studio functions.
It's like Morgan Freeman, ain't it?
Yeah, Morgan Freeman, Danny Glover, Denzel
Danny Glover, cool
Washington,
people. I like that. Denzel.
Samuel Jackson.
Yeah.
And what you see at these things, interestingly enough, is not all of the beautiful, glamorous Hollywood starlets. You see a bunch of homely looking girls, and they tend to be the daughters or the wives of the executives. So those functions are where you see these guys, and otherwise they stay the hell away from Hollywood because it's poison. They make a lot of money for the studio. They're in demand, so they have to give them the play. You know, a lot of their patrons are female blacks now, so they like to see them some Idris Elba and some used to be Denzel, you know, and all of the rest of them. But these brothers are getting older, and they're getting a lot of gray in hair, and they're getting wrinkles in face and developing characters. So they're trying to find new and improved chick flick matinee stars. And the ones they're bringing in are interesting because they play gay parts and straight parts. And Hollywood has this interest in getting the part identified, not by the character in the movie, but by the actor who plays the character. Like, check out, it's been going on for a long time. Check out a John Wayne movie. Can anybody tell me the characters John Wayne played by name of the characters? Is it just John Wayne? Is it Clint Eastwood other than Dirty Harry? You know, what characters did he play? All right, those spaghetti westerns. What was the name of the character he played? Nobody knows.
The man with
But
no
you
name,
see,
right? What?
like, what's his name? I don't remember the guy's name, but he just died. He played Black Panther.
Chadwick
Right?
Boseman. Yeah.
Is that his name?
Yeah, Chadwick Boseman. Yeah.
Yeah, that's him. He played Black Panther. He played James Brown. He played Thurgood Marshall. He didn't look anything like Thurgood Marshall
Jackie
or
Robinson.
James Brown.
Jackie
He
Robinson.
played Jackie Robinson. It sure didn't look anything like Jackie Robinson. And if you see this movie that's on cable, Xfinity, now, often you buy it. Sometimes it's free. It's called Gods of Egypt. He also plays this flaming sissy, who is the god of wisdom in that pantheon of Egyptian gods. He's with these robes, and he makes many copies of himself because he's got an ego thing. So he's just a flamer. So they got this one guy that's associated with all of this. They try to make him all of the heroes, but he's a flamer. So these kids look at this thing where you can be all these things, and that blends into fluid gender.
Well, you know,
it's crazy. And then you have P Valley, Pussy Valley, and the lead character, the boss, is a flamer who likes to give head to the guys. And then Murder.
Now the guy who plays Little Murder, he got a body double allegedly. That's not him with no sex scene. He's actually married with children.
Yeah, well, Little Murder likes to suck the dick on the flamer that runs P Valley, that's behind in the ring.
You know, it's problematic because it's like Empire. I remember when Empire first came on, I enjoyed it, and then started getting too fruity booty.
Yeah, well,
Skittles. I got to turn out.
Another little secret. All the righteous brothers in the penitentiary that I've heard all of the girls say when they're talking about folk, and there are a few folk in there that shouldn't be in there. But they aren't Robin Hood. They weren't robbing from the rich, giving to the poor. They were robbing from the poor, spending on the wrong kind of things. And guess what? That character, Little Murder, likes to give head to that flamer. A lot of them come out the penitentiary, don't get rid of that. I mean, I've represented people over the years where you get them in their teenagers, and mama would pay the fee, and they'd get over 18, they'd get some girlfriends, and they'd have 3 or 4 babes paying their fees, and then they'd do some time, and they come out 2 years later, and then you'd get a babe coming down there to pay a fee, and then he'd bring some money down there. And then what would happen is the girl would come in, Lloyd Brown, I want my money back. What's wrong? You can't get your money back. I've already signed on. I'm representing him. You better go see him. What's the problem? Well, Lloyd Brown, he got 4 gay boys, 3 gay boys live in the same apartment building. He come back smelling like he been, sucking on them sticking it up his butt, and he be stealing my Kotex because his ass be bleeding.
Oh God!
You run into him, he stomp down, righteous OG.
Right. Yep. You know what, Judge? It's funny. Little Murder actually did have a love interest that came out the pen, like his buddy who committed suicide this past season. That they were lovers in prison, and they continued their thing outside of prison when he joined them on his tour. So I mean, it's crazy how they could get that across, but you can't. If you do all this stuff, you could program people to love black people. Then can you not make programs to uplift black people and the black family?
Yeah.
I thought it's crazy.
You've heard me talk about glorification of dysfunction over the years.
Yes, sir.
See, that kind of movie is interesting because it's the first time in 55 years you've seen that kind of focus on black life. But when they started switching to Blaxploitation, it was interesting because what they had before that, where they had these athletes, Jim Brown, Fred the Hammer Williams, and this bunch, the characters were badasses, but they had good character. And they were men, and they took care of manly business. And they went to college, they had jobs, they were doing things, and they weren't criminals until you got that thing with Fred the Hammer Williams that I'll never
Black
forget
Caesar.
him for playing. He played that gangster in a Black Caesar.
Yes, sir.
He was a drug dealer and a murderer. And he was the hero, rode off into the sunset smoking a big Churchill cigar after he and his boys had murdered rivals in this Long Beach warehouse down on the waterfront. LAPD never showed up, which everybody that saw that movie, you know, said, man, where's LAPD? You know, man, they'd be vamping all over the place. What happened? Did you see that? Yeah, man, damn, they were... Why are they promoting this crime, man? We're trying to get the neighborhood straight. And they sitting up promoting that garbage. And then they came out with Superfly about 18 months later.
You know, Judge, I'm glad
really poison.
You brought up that because I had a chance to speak with Freeway Ricky Ross about what influenced him. He said Superfly influenced him. I talked to him on Sunday. I said, now, is it realistic at the end that he walked away from the police with his back turned? He said, hell no, it was. Nah, he said, no, it wasn't realistic. So how did they get people hooked on that, knowing that that's not real? That this drug dealer just turn his back on these corrupt cops and just walk away and not touch one hair on his pretty black head? How is that realistic?
The point is they directed it at those who weren't interested, like Foxy Brown, Pam Grier, good-looking black woman.
Yeah.
But in those movies, if you saw the stuff they showed in Europe and now they show on late night TV, Foxy Brown would get knocked down 15, 20 times in the movie. And every time she got hit, knocked down, a bare tit or both would pop out of the top. Or her bare twat would show, you know. And then they got the obligatory scenes where they got 3 or 4 naked white women getting out the shower, walking around the apartment or the place naked with a towel over one shoulder, and 2 or 3 black ones. And it was just, the acting was deliberately done over the top. In other words, just poorly done.
Right.
We got to move on the, you know, like.
You remember Truck Turner? You remember that with Isaac Hayes?
Yeah.
And Dolomite, that stuff was over the top, right? It was like over the top.
They did that on purpose.
Yeah.
They did have some people that had no knowledge of the hood. I grew up in LA. I mean, I was out there when they shot that. And they'd always invite black student union folk from all of the colleges to come. They pay you a little extra money. You can make $80, $90, $100 a day from doing it. So, yeah, everybody went out there. We looked street, but since we're going to college, we weren't being thuggish unless it was out there, you know, burning up a building or something like that. You know? Not saying I did it.
I understand, but you know,
that may have it in a book, be published posthumously, you know, about some of the adventures, which there were quite a few.
Oh, what a
but we don't talk about that right now.
Sir.
All right, so.
Oh man, I remember like how they made the Mac. Reading about the backstory, they had to use a pimp. The Pimp brothers. One of them got assassinated allegedly with his bottom girl in his car. You know what I'm talking about? The movie The Mac.
With, Oh God! Wait a minute.
The Panthers was involved in that.
Julian.
Huh? Yeah, Max Julian. He just passed away not long ago. Yes, sir.
You see, wait a minute. We used to kick. Max Julian used to get his ass kicked all the time in junior high school, and they used to take his lunch money on a regular basis. It's funny. When I saw him playing that pimp, I said, oh, you got to be lying to me. Next to that fine brother, this lame fool. Oh, man, come on.
It made him a legend, though. He an icon because of that.
I know, but that's Hollywood.
Yeah.
By the way, this here, I'm doing service and selling sauce.
That's
So
right.
it's JJB for mayor of Memphis, Tennessee in 2023. Send Brown downtown. And if you
That's
want
right.
the best sauce you've ever tried, Judge Joe Brown, JJB Barbecue, BBQ.com. You can order yourself some, and in a little while, it'll be on the shelves of your local grocery stores. So get a jump on the summer. It's some really good stuff. JJB, BBQ, and JJB in 2023 for mayor of Memphis, Tennessee.
That winning combination. That barbecue sauce is good, Judge. It goes good with just about everything and anything.
Yes, it does. French fries included.
Hey, everybody, this is Brother Ron. I am asking you all to do me a big favor. Think about supporting the We All Be movement. Your donation is tax deductible. The We All Be Group Incorporated is a recognized 501c3. And I'm just asking you all because I want to keep on bringing y'all quality work through the way that I know how to do best. And I'm going to sing my praises and toot my horn. A lot of y'all were not hip to Dick Gregory until Brother Ron brought him on the We All Be platform, until that jingle review we did. Y'all seen another side of Judge Joe Brown, and Judge Joe Brown's message has been amplified. But it was We All Be that brought Judge Joe Brown to y'all back in 2014. And so many others. And we covered so many things. So help us out so we can help you all. Peace.